It's buffering now, and we are fully loaded. And again, Dan Burkett, Rad Dan, signature mullet, and Supra, definitely his move. Here we go. So we got a clean start here. Michael Essa, Dan Burkett. Now we get a battle here. We got a clean start. Michael Essa around that first front clip, transitioning there. Dan Burkett, like I said, very smooth driver. Both the guys now coming out of that touch and go into that final front clipping point, transitioning into the sweeper. Michael Essa tries to bring it out. Dan Burkett taking a little bit shallower line. We want to see the drivers push all the way out to where the asphalt meets the grass as they cross that finish line. Ryan.
Well, let's loop this back and take a look at it again here. We got a clean start from Michael Essa and Dan Burkett. You can see Essa initiates very early, right at that third standing cone. Burkett eyeing him up, looking for an area to attack. But look at Michael Essa through that second inside clip. Midline here coming through the power alley. Great job right there. And then you can see right there a little bit of angle loss from Dan Burkett as Michael Essa tries to reach out wide here to this outside zone. Burkett taking a little bit of a shallower line to gain proximity there. So you saw exactly what Burkett did in the chase position as Michael Essa finishes up that final run. Here they go through the power alley. Really your choice of line there as the lead driver, as long as you get out to that outside touch and go. And this is a decel area here where you saw Dan Burkett coming up to Michael Essa. He lost a little bit of angle there before that outside of the power alley. So now they'll switch things up as Dan Burkett goes to the lead and Michael Essa chases him down.
For the second half of this battle, who's going to advance on? Again, we will revisit Kaufman and Castro, but right now it's Burkett and Essa. No cones hit. No strike, no harm, no foul. Who's gonna move on? Burkett initiates. Essa right there, wrapping around the first front clip, into the second. Burkett goes a little long there. Now into the touch and go. Goes Burkett. Essa taking a shallower line. Firing off as the Super Essa. Now lunges forward. Burkett taking the middle line there as Essa right on the door of the Supra. Now bringing across the finish line, Ryan.
Well, notice one of the big differences there was the final right-hand sweeper. Essa really encroached and got really close to Dan Burkett. Burkett out front as a lead driver, pretty solid here on that second hash mark. Great angle, nice fluidity through this section, right out to that touch and go. Essa a little bit losing angle through that section of the course and right there, but then he gets back on the back bumper right here of Dan Burkett. He's right on the line here, really pushing it towards Dan Burkett, getting as close as he possibly can without making any mistakes. So a good way to end it there. I love the wide swing from Burkett. Great angle here through the touch and go area. You can see Essa was on a little bit of a shallower line there.
All right, so slide him left for Burkett, slide him right for Essa. And Ryan says Michael Essa, as does Andy and Brian. It's unanimous. Michael Essa gets the victory on this restart battle here. See Van Kirk, and as a chase car, you are allowed to jump the light, but not the lead car. Now initiating Chris Forsberg into that first front clip. A wide swing there, about the second hash mark. The second hash mark as well on around that second, coming into the touch and go area. Getting all the way out, now tightening up to that front clip, transitioning to the outside zone goes Forsberg. Getting all the way out there, about the first hash mark on the outside zone. And Van Kirk in tow.
And Van Kirk, you know, we mentioned this yesterday, really impressive in New Jersey. We've really just seen him have a great rookie year. Right here, Forsberg, you can see just a little bit long on that first inside clip. Van Kirk was able to tuck up on the inside here, but Forsberg gets on the throttle here. Obviously down in power, you can see Van Kirk a little bit less angled there as they come through that area where there's a decel into that third inside clip. Now Forsberg heading to the outside here, trying to fill this zone as much as he can. And a little bit tighter line there by Van Kirk as he comes back to the rear side of the vehicle. And they come across the finish line. Here is Forsberg entering that outside zone. Van Kirk has got him in close proximity here. He's on a little bit of a tighter line here. And then you can see Forsberg move back, and so does Van Kirk.
And here we go, Van Kirk out front. No cones were hit, and it is send-it time. Here we go, Van Kirk. Little Manji entry around that first front clip, tightens it up. Really tight on that second front, pulling away from Forsberg. Now into that third and final front clip, into that outer zone. Goes Van Kirk and Forsberg. Van Kirk all the way out to the outside zone. I'm tightening it up. Ryan.
Well, Forsberg is in that championship chase, a very important battle here. You can see that nice initiation there by Van Kirk. Gets on that second hash mark. Nice transition back around Forsberg, a little bit tight. Now you see a little bit of separation here coming through the power alley into that outside touch and go. Forsberg now closing the door again as Van Kirk swings out wide to try to fill this outside zone. A little bit of a less deep line there against Forsberg, but Forsberg closing the door there through the finish line. So good competitive battle here as we heard about Forsberg having some challenges with his car, and Van Kirk looking pretty solid here. As you can see, both drivers through that first inside clip. Forsberg just a little bit tight on that second one, and you can see through the power alley there.
All right, the verdict is in. Slide up left for Van Kirk or right for Chris Forsberg. Ryan, Andy, and Brian are 3 judges. Ryan says Andy and Brian. Chris Forsberg gets the win. Chris Forsberg gets the win. As unfortunately Kaufman unable to start his car. So a lot of bad luck here for majority of the drivers here. And we talked about Forsberg and oil and all that, but right now Castro initiates. And this is going to be a fast pass into the top 16. Past that third front clip. A good opportunity for him to inspect the course and see what he's comfortable. Just get another practice run here for him. Looking really good. Very smooth there for Jonathan Castro. Odie, Falcon tires, max oil, drifts wheels, S14.5. Got a V8 under the hood, throws it down. Past that second front clip, very tight. Real contender here. That's all the makings of, wow, big, massive flick by him. Looks like he was trying to go for it there. And then having to take some angle out of it, but real styly there from Odie Bakshis. Who's moving on? Who's going against Odie in the top 16? We're about to find out. Peter initiates. Dean right there around that first front clip. Now into that second. Coming into view of the judges' naked eye. Out to that touch and go goes both the drivers. Punting. Whoa! Dean Kearney tries to throw some angle at it. Ends up finding him and has to straighten out. So Peter Viesek will have a major advantage here with Dean Kearney having an incomplete run there, Ryan.
Yeah, tough break for Dean. We'll want to see exactly what happened there. Peter gets a nice snappy initiation here. You can see he's right on that first hash mark. Smooth transition. Dean hanging in there right now as they come through this power alley. But then as they leave the power alley into this inside clip, Dean comes through the smoke line. It looks like he was really tight on that inside clip, and as he snapped it back around, he put big angle in the car, wasn't able to hold on to it, and then he had to shut it down. So it looks like at first pass it's going to be an incomplete for Dean Kearney. Let's take a look at it again. He's in the smoke line. He goes up onto the curbing there, and then you can see as he's transitioning back around, he snapped it real quick and was not able to hold that angle.
Again, this is the second half of this battle. If you can recall, Dean Kearney, we just talked about spinning the same place that Austin Meeks did. The winner of this battle to go against birthday boy Odie Bakshis in that Falcon Tires S chassis as Dean Kearney initiates in that turbocharged Oracle Lighting Dodge Viper on Achilles tires. Peter Viesek tucks into Smokey. You barely see him as he jumps back out. Now transitioning into outside sweeper. Peter Viesek going off as Viesek goes into the dirt. Ryan, that is going to be probably an incomplete run there for Peter Viesek, and that would basically be, you know, lead versus lead, chase versus chase.
Well, let's remember, if it's an incomplete by Viesek, which I'm sure that it is, what that means is that you have basically 2 leads to compare. So we have to really pay attention to Dean Kearney's lead versus Peter Viesek's lead. You can see Kearney out front does a great job here. You can see he's very deep into this zone. So that's what the judges are going to be looking at, because we have a situation where you have 2 incompletes and they're in the chase position, which means that the only thing that they have to compare is the lead. So here's Peter Viesek's. Just remember, if you're watching at home or on the Jumbotron here, we're comparing the 2 leads. So Viesek, nice job out front, nice snappy transition back around. You can see he also drives pretty deep into this zone. Dean as well, so this is pretty close. And this may be a gift for both guys. They both had some mistakes, obviously, that led to those incompletes. And this is where we see Viesek get out of whack. He lost some angle there, and then he was carrying too much speed coming into the final zone. He tried to keep it on, but you can see through the smoke line, he's basically 4 tires off right there. maybe he has that front right on the concrete, but we've seen incompletes for less than that, and then right there he drives straight, so that pretty much solidifies it.
Yeah. Again, lead versus lead, chase versus chase. Slide him left for Dean Kearney, right for Peter Viesek. Brian says one more time. Andy and Ryan. Ryan says Dean Kearney. Andy says one more time. They are going at it again. So a one more time battle between them. Quite a difference there as far as qualifying positions, but now here's the essence of drifting head-to-head competition. Here we go. James Dean, your defending champion and current points leader. So Austin Meeks going to put a stop to that. As James Dean around that first front clip, nice job. Austin Meeks back there quite a bit. Can Austin Meeks gain some ground? Austin Meeks hanging the angle, and there it is again. So another vehicle spinning out there, so just could not hang with James Dean. That's going to be a major advantage for James Dean.
Yeah, Jared, unfortunately for Meeks, it looks like he comes unstuck here. You can see after the initiation from James, Meeks goes a little bit wide there, trying to close the door on James. James is very fast, has a ton of grip. You see the separation here. Meeks pushes very hard, gets pretty close on this inside clip, but same situation as Dean Kearney as he transitions into that final turn. You can see there he's unable to hold the angle, snaps it back a little bit too fast. Now James would need to finish the run at this point.
And James Dean with a major advantage in that chase position as Austin Meeks spinning out. So Austin Meeks needs to put down a solid run in front of that defending champion. Meeks initiates around that first front clip. James Dean tucks into that smoke line. Now separation happens between Meeks and Dean. A wide angle there around that final front clip for Meeks. Through that sweeper. So even though there was kind of a disparity there was a gap between Meeks and Dean that rotating on that first run, Ryan.
Well, Meeks trying to push the limits here. You can see Dean putting some angle in the car to avoid contact here. Meeks blasting through that center section, getting out to that outside touch and go. Now Dean looking for an opportunity to attack here. He knows he's got an advantage. Meeks tries to go deep into this outside zone, but Dean eyes him up, starts closing the door as they wrap around this final right-hand sweeper, and just a few feet off there. But you can see on this initiation right here, Dean nearly touches Austin Meeks, puts some angle in the car, and then you can see the momentum slow down by Dean.
The verdict comes in, slide him left for Meeks, right for James Dean. And it is unanimous. James Dean gets the victory. Him and Chris Forsberg forging the team this year. The Blackout Garage, Vaughn Gittin Jr., Monster Energy, Nitto Tire, Ford Performance, Mustang, RTR Spec 5D. It's a mouthful, it's a faceful, and you're gonna be seeing it up close and personal. Shout out to Abby Gittin. Preggers at home with VG3. They're expecting a baby, and it's going to be a boy. Here we go. Ryan Tuerck, see who's going to give birth to advancement into the top 16. Past that second front clip. Vaughn Gittin Jr. right there. And so Ryan Tuerck out to the touch and go. Really flirting with the dirt. Into that outer zone. Nice job by both these guys. Oh, Vaughn Gittin Jr. you see takes some angle out of the middle of the road here for Vaughn. And a solid run by both these guys. Make some noise for Ryan Tuerck and Vaughn Gittin Jr.
Well, let's look at this. Right from initiation, you can see Tuerck nice and tight on this inside clip. Vaughn right through the smoke line, right through that inside clip where Tuerck was a little bit wide there. So Vaughn was expecting him to be a little bit tighter. Now Tuerck's going to come through this last inside clip. Vaughn through the smoke line. Tuerck kind of slows down for a second, gets on this tighter line. Vaughn has to make an adjustment. Then Tuerck swings out wide, and Vaughn right there is door to door as they come through this final inside clip. So a lot for the judges to digest there, as both drivers are really close. Watch Tuerck. He has big angle here. He has to pull some out. Vaughn nearly hits him.
Yeah.
And then makes an adjustment, and then that causes him to come on the inside here. So we'll have to see how the judges interpret that. Then Tuerck moves to the outside. Vaughn takes up the inside portion here and keeps it pretty close through that final inside clip.
And we are ready to send. Clear to send. Full send, bro. As Vaughn will lead. Ryan Tuerck give chase in the second half of this battle. Vaughn comes out. Coming out hot out of that chicane. Lights him up. Into the first front clip. Vaughn Gittin Jr. three-wheel motion around that second. Mustang. Through that power. Oh, and Ryan Tuerck goes off. Wow. Woo-wee. As Vaughn Gittin Jr. ideally will complete the rest of this run. Man, what happened to Ryan Tuerck? He caught that grass and he just went sending it
Well, we won't be getting into any interpretation of that final outside zone, because Ryan Tuerck, very spectacular going off course there. I think that's probably the longest slide that we've seen. You can tell Tuerck is obviously fine, but you see how slick it is once you get out there. And obviously right through that area of the touch and go is an opportunity where you're carrying a lot of speed and momentum. Let's watch this as they get through that first inside clip. Nice snappy transition back around by Vaughn. Now Tuerck is going to come across. He's going to get way too long. And then I think what happens there is his wheel hits that area where it has dropped off and turned him and pointed him in the opposite direction. Now we've seen a lot of drivers go off in that area. It's actually made that area dip down, and what it looks like is he kind of went off. Let's watch it again in slow motion.
Actually, they added a lot of dirt, so it's almost a berm. It looks like it grabs the tire and spins him.
Yeah, exactly. But they see right there, yeah, it spins him that way, and then he heads off into the grass, because there's basically a drop off right here, right? Let's see if there you go, right there, and it spins him around and it shoots him off course.
Looks like he will be exit stage left. Vaughn Gittin Jr. gets the win. Vaughn Gittin Jr. gets the win. And again, the top 3 qualifiers have a bye run. The other driver that will have an automatic bye will be Ken Gushi. And here comes Matt Field in that Corvette. So this is his solo bye run. He'll be doing battle against the winner of Kevin Lawrence and Forrest Wang. As Matt Field out Vortex supercharged. We saw him on the podium, debuting this new Corvette. It's a great place to be in. Again, really making it look good. There's another Corvette in competition, Dirk Stratton. He is the second to last battle. Peter Viesek, Wordhouse Drift Team Falcon tires, S15. And we got a clean start. Peter Viesek. Look at Dean Kearney right there on the back bumper of the Polish driver. And Dean, you see, getting up into the ribbon strip. Throws him off a little bit, but not too much, not enough. Looks like he navigates that final clip properly now into the outside zone. Peter really riding that edge where the asphalt and the grass meet. Ryan, a good job there for both the guys.
Very clean run, and man, was that fast. You can see coming down the front straight, Dean right on that back bumper. Peter initiates, great job on that first inside clip. Nice and tight there. Dean a little bit too tight on that second inside clip, but he's not letting Peter get away. He tucks up right there through that outside touch and go through the smoke line, and now Peter eyeing up this outside zone. Great job right there, running that the deepest part of that zone as Dean closes the door towards the end and then falls off just a little bit there. Let's watch it through the S-turns one more time. Dean comes up a little bit tight here, and you can see it causes the front end to move, but he gets right back on it.
All right, so here we go, the second half of this battle. Through the chicane, no cones hit. Here they come ablazing. Oracle Lighting, Dodge, Viper on Achilles tires. Both of them initiate simultaneously. Well done by Peter Viesek in that chase position. Dean Kearney getting a lot of clean air, looking good. Throwing some flames past that final front clip. Peter Viesek now in tow. Look at that. You can see just compromising a little bit of angle right there on the door of that Dodge Viper. Peter Viesek. Woo! These guys, great friends off the track, and now they're going for the gusto, Ryan.
Well, that was an incredible battle between those two. Glad we got to see them one more time. Let's take a look at this here from the onset. Nice snappy transition by Dean, but Peter already from the get-go comes through the smoke line. Dean does a great job in his lead run right through those first and second inside clips. Now coming to that outside touch and go. Great job by Dean. Fluid transition here, but Peter looking for an opportunity, sees that Dean is on the outside, but he matches the line, pretty much matches the angle, and really keeps it close through this last section of the course. That might have been the best right-hand sweeper we've seen in head-to-head matchups so far in the top 32. You can see as he tucks through the smoke line here, comes through, finds that, and lands that perfect position right on the inside of Dean. And you got to give it up to Dean. He's running a really wide line here, and a good chase, a good lead allows for a good chase, and that's exactly what happened here in this battle.
Between Dean Kearney and Peter Viesek. Slide him left for Kearney, right for Viesek. And Ryan says, Andy and Brian. Peter Viesek, the Polish driver, gets the win. Peter Viesek, phenomenal chase job, Ryan. As you said, he advances on. Forrest Wang, definitely one of the most popular drivers, as very stylish. Very smooth transitions. Here we go. Big Country Labs Wang out back, initiating in to that first front clip. There goes Forrest, and Kevin Lawrence getting really into that rumble strip, taking out that Black Magic Intense clip. Now past the judges stand goes Forrest Wang. A lot of tire being thrown off there. Wang. No vape clouds. That is all Achilles tire smoke. So scrubbing some speed kind of midway there. Let's take a look at that again, Ryan. You saw Kevin Lawrence really lunge forward.
Well, you can see how important it is that those first two inside clips are. Forrest, nice job right there. Maybe could have a little bit more angle, but you can see right there Lawrence is a bit tight on that second inside clip, and it really doesn't put him in a good position for the chase. But right here, watch Forrest as they come through that last inside clip. Forrest loses some angle there, has to kick it back out, gives Lawrence an opportunity to attack, and he's able to close the door a bit here, even though he's on a little bit of a tighter line.
And Kevin Lawrence will lead. Forrest Wang give chase. And they leave the line, approaching that first front clip. Goes Kevin Lawrence, tight to it, both the guys. And through that, there's a touch and go right there that Kevin Lawrence gets into that dirt. Dirt McGirt now into that outer zone. Kevin Lawrence using all of the course. Forrest Wang right there. And crossing the finish line, Ryan.
Let's take a look here at this second run. Who's going to be moving on? Lawrence initiates. Wang right there in tow. Lawrence through the S's. Great job on that first and second inside clip. Watch Forrest here in the chase position. He's going to almost understeer right there. He's going to come up with a little bit less angle, but then as Lawrence gets into this outside zone, he locks into a great line, but so is Forrest. He stays with him, stays on that line, and keeps the pressure all the way through the finish line. Watch right here from this angle, Jared. You're going to see Forrest. He's going to lose a bit of angle right there. You can see the front wheel adjust, but he makes it, he saves it, and then he gets right into the fighting mode against Kevin Lawrence. Lawrence has that great outside line, but Forrest is sticking with him there. So nice job by both guys here in the second half of the battle.
All right, looks like the judges are really analyzing the different battles here.
You can see Lawrence struggled with that inside flip. He went way up on the curbing there. It really hurt him through that center section, and he was playing catch-up for a while.
So going to the judges, slide him left for Lawrence, right for Wang. Ryan, Andy says one more time. Ryan says Kevin Lawrence, and Brian says one more time. So they are going at it again. It's a one more time battle between them. Kyle Mohan, Long Beach, California. As Pollock leaves the start chicane, we got a clean start. Here we go. The Ford Pony versus the only rotary in competition. Justin Pollock transitions into that second front clip. Now they come through that power alley. Looks like Kyle Mohan can't hold on to it. He goes into the grass. Justin Pollock continues on. Kyle Mohan re-enters the course, but definitely that could have been really sketchy there for Mohan. You saw him counter back, Ryan, as he approached that touch and go for Mohan.
Yeah, let's take a look and see what happened here. You can see both drivers initiate pretty much at the same time. Pollock a little bit long on that first inside clip, better on that second. Now watch Mohan here in the chase. He's going to come through here. He's going to, the front angle is going to, or the front is going to wash out, and then he's going to have to reinitiate, but by that time he's on the edge of the course. He slides out, and looks like he'll have it incomplete on that run. So unfortunately for Kyle, the front end washing out there caused him to go off course, and he will now have an uphill battle. Here it is, a look from the boom lift on camera 2. Watch the front end here. It's going to wash out. Now he's headed right there, and then he went off course and had to get back in it there. So
let's get a clean start here. No cones hit as a strike against Mohan. And away they go. Mohan out front. Pollock in the chase position. Mohan initiates. Tied to that front clip, gets on the rumble strip. Not once, but twice. Now coming through. That touch and go. Zeroing in is Mohan. Now in that outside zone, Justin Pollock taking a really shallow line. Surprised by that line of Justin Pollock as Mohan brings it all the way out. Ryan, unfortunately for Mohan, going off course. Don't think that what Pollock did there offsets it.
Don't think so, but Pollock definitely playing a bit of a dangerous game there towards the end. Getting pretty scary. He pushed pretty hard there and threw a lot of angle at the car. Let it throw itself out right there, but he caught it and kept angle in the car. That could have been an opportunity for an incomplete, but that's what we would need, or that's what Kyle's team would need in order to justify a one more time or to compare the two leads.
All right, results are in. Slide them left for Mohan, right for Pollock. Ryan says Justin Pollock. Andy says Pollock, as does Brian. Justin Pollock gets the win. JTP advances on. Both of them had some mistakes on their first battle. Again, Lontaine sided with Kevin Lawrence, but two of the other two judges win with it one more time. Forrest Wang into that first front clip. A lot of smoke coming off the back end of that Vaptasia S15. Kevin Lawrence gets lost in that smoke. Now into the outer zone. Kevin Lawrence, very shallow line, that RB-powered S chassis. And Forrest Wang holds on to that great angle there.
Well, Jared, you can see just how important that first part of the course is, and this is where Kevin Lawrence struggled a bit here. He rolled into that initiation, had to pull some angle out. Watch Forrest right here through the first and second inside clips, very strong, and then on the throttle, but Lawrence is really far behind here. Now he's going to try to catch up, cut angle in the car, but he's going to hit the curbing right there, and then he's going to really lose drift and have a tough time of it as Forrest is way out front, putting down a solid lead here. And so Forrest is going to be walking into this chase run knowing that Lawrence has made some mistakes and that he has an opportunity here to move on by just putting down a pretty decent chase run, given what Lawrence had done in his chase run here was not really a factor overall.
Second half of this battle. Come on, fellas. Who's going to move on? Don't leave in the judges' hands. As looks like no cones were hit, no restart. Here we go. Kevin Lawrence initiates. Ooh, you see that, throwing some dirt. Little mud gun there. Past that second front clip. Lawrence with some good angle. Forrest Wang tucks in. Ryan talks about that little bobble on that first run, but Forrest is doing a great job in the chase position. Lawrence going all the way to the outside zone. Wang not exactly as deep, but still had him in tow.
Well, between the two runs, obviously Forrest put together the better overall package here. You can see Lawrence out front does a pretty good job on that first and second inside clip, but unable to shake Forrest. Forrest sticks with him through the smoke line, through the outside power alley, into the touch and go, through that final inside clip. Lawrence a pretty good lead here, but Forrest, you can see, is always within a car length or two. And you got to go back to that chase run with Kevin Lawrence, unable to do here what Forrest was done in his chase.
Slide him left for Lawrence, right for Forrest Wang. Our three judges, Ryan, Andy, and Brian, and it is unanimous. Forrest Wang gets the victory. He's going against Matt Field at top 16. Nitto tires underneath the corners of Federico Sceriffo's vehicle. And of course, you got Falcons on the corners of Daijiro Yoshihara. Here we go. Got a clean start. Dai initiates big rate to angle there for Dai Yoshihara. Dai Yoshihara qualifying 10th compared to 23rd. You can hear that thing banging away. Well done by Daijiro Yoshihara. Federico hanging in there, not mimicking the angle. Oh, and just as I say that, Federico Sceriffo goes off course, does some landscaping there. Our Italian driver ended up in the grass.
Well, a lot of drivers having trouble with the power alley, coming out of the power alley from that outside touch and go to that inside clip. Federico as well had an issue there. Look at this initiation by Dai. Great rate to angle. He holds it there. Nice fluid transition around. Great job by Federico so far, but watch as we come through the power alley here. Watch in the chase position. He's going to go off course, lose some angle there, give a little bit of separation as Dai reaches out very wide here. Let's focus in on Federico. He's going to come up on the inside, surging, has to put some angle in the car, and then he over-rotates it off before the finish line for an incomplete. So just almost through the finish line there. He had that mistake on that outside touch and go. Lost a little bit of angle here as Dai takes the lead out front. He's going to surge forward, try to close the door, has to angle up to avoid contact, but then he's unable to complete the run.
made a lot of noise at Long Beach when his car caught a fire, caught a blaze, but salvaged the car, got it back up and running, was at the very next round. So a lot of support for Federico in this Ferrari. So Federico Sceriffo, this Triple F drifting department, Nitto Tire, Fiorella, as Yoshihara punts that Black Magic intense front clip. Now through the power alley, here comes Federico, Yoshihara. Past the final front clip into that outside zone. Federico finding a sweet spot, but Yoshihara found his as well. Scaring that final clip, knocking it down.
Well, if you find yourself in a situation where the other driver has an incomplete, your spotter's got to be telling you, look, you just have to make it through this run without getting a zero or an incomplete. Dice center punches that first inside clip, probably making his spotter pretty nervous, but then he's able to pull it off overall, stay with Federico. Federico out front doing a really good job here as the lead, but remember going back to that first run where he was unable to finish the run.
All right, here is the verdict. Slide him left for Federico, right for Yoshihara, and you have to assume, yep, Yoshihara, the former champ, advances on. And here we go, Christaps through the chicane. And we have a clean start on that GTR. It looks like he's gonna pounce on that BMW past the first front clip. Could have been tighter there for Christaps. Taguchi actually taking out that second front clip. Now Christaps into that outer zone. Using all the force, getting out to that outside line. Taguchi working that GTR.
Let's take a look here, Jared. As Bluss a little bit wide on that first inside clip and the second. Taguchi a bit tight there, so both guys struggling a little bit with the line here. As Bluss comes through that final inside clip, shoots out towards this outside zone, does find a pretty good line here. Taguchi a few car lengths back, now starting to surge forward a little bit there, but not able to keep the duration of proximity consistent towards the end. Here's Bluss coming through the S. As you can see, he's just on a little bit of a wider line while Taguchi was taking that tight line that caused his right front wheel to go up onto the curbing.
Via Christaps Bluss. And Taguchi. Taguchi leading, Bluss giving chase. Initiated into that first front clip. Goes Taguchi. Past the second. Get on the rumble strip. It's Kazuya. Taguchi. Max angle there from Taguchi. Now swinging it back into the outside zone. Taguchi getting all the way out there as Christaps shallows up towards the latter portion of that line.
Let's take a look at it again from initiation here. Taguchi, nice job on that first inside clip. I love the fluidity through those S's there. Nice job on the line. As you can see, a little bit of angle being pulled out from Bluss in the chase position there. And then Taguchi, big angles. He tries to reach out wide, really go deep into that zone as he can. And here's Bluss really knocking on the door here towards the end. You can see he almost makes contact with him. He has to back off for a second so he doesn't lose that angle.
Slide him left for Taguchi, right for Bluss. There's a one more time from Ryan. Andy says Bluss, and Brian says one more time. So, one more time battle. Dirk Stratton will give chase. Two more battles after this, including that one more time. Will we get a victor here? Who's going on? DeNofa initiates. Approaching that first front clip, you can see he kind of swings it wide, but then tightens it up. As Dirk through that power alley, past the third and final front clip. Massive angle there from DeNofa. Stratton gets tight to it, not as much angle as DeNofa. All-American. Can hear Lee Greenwood singing right now.
Well, let's roll it back and see what each driver did here on the first lap of this battle. DeNofa, nice initiation here, big angle. A little bit wide on that first inside clip though, but much better on that second. Dirk, you can see he gets out of whack. He goes up on the curbing, he loses the front end, and then he gives a bit of room here to DeNofa, who does a good job entering this zone early, comes off of it a little bit, but then gets back in it. And meanwhile, Dirk is stuck trying to play catch up here and not able to get door to door with Chelsea DeNofa. Here's the initiation from DeNofa, big angle here, just kind of overshot that first inside clip. Watch Dirk right here. He's going to get up on the curbing. You see I pushed him straight for a second, and then he...
That wheel lift doesn't seem to be as violent or as kind of large as it has in rounds past. I don't know if they changed setup there, but right now it's Dirk Stratton out front getting the clean air. Chelsea DeNofa initiating in tow. Onto that second clipping point. Nice job by Dirk Stratton. I'd like to see a little more angle from Stratton. Now past the judges stand. Goes Stratton and DeNofa. Into the outer zone by Stratton. Similar distance to each other. Ryan, anything stand out to you, good, bad, or otherwise?
Well, you know, pretty close battle here. Let's take a look at the initiation. Nice job by Dirk through that first inside clip and the second here. But DeNofa also staying on that same line. Dirk coming out to that outside touch and go. DeNofa sticking with them. I think DeNofa had better proximity on the first half of the course and pretty much all the way up until this point here. We see a little bit of separation, but then he pulls it back together. You have to remember, going back to DeNofa's run, he did have a very solid lead run.
Slide him left for Stratton, right for DeNofa. Ryan says, as do the other judges. Chelsea DeNofa, Ryan, Andy, and Brian. Lantain, throw your headset on there and elaborate if you would. Don't leave it in the judges' hands, fellas. Again, one more time battle here. And here we go. Christaps Bluss out front. Kazuya Taguchi in the chase position. Bluss approaching. Very similar to his first battle there. Around that second clip. Through the power alley. Bluss, massive angle there. Really flicking it out. Woo! And Taguchi exploding that Black Magic intense front clip. Bluss really working all of the course. This is the Bluss I was talking about. Just that turn it to 11 kind of attitude. And maybe he thought he could just walk all over Taguchi, but no, not today.
This is a much better lead run by Bluss. You can see he does better on the first and second inside clips. That little jump right there by Taguchi coming up tight. See Taguchi's on a tighter line through the power alley here. Very fast moving is Bluss out front. Taguchi trying to catch up here, but Bluss locks in on this line. You can see he's right there between that first and second hash mark. Leaves that outside zone perfect and hits that inside clip. So this is a solid lead run from Bluss. Taguchi does a pretty good job, but you can see how that curbing really has an impact on your run overall. And then Taguchi has to take a tighter line here.
And we will. Let's send it. Kazuya Taguchi out front. Christaps Bluss in the chase position. As Forsberg said, one of the fastest courses. Throttle down, hammer down. Taguchi gets into the rumble strips once, twice, 3 times maybe. Past that front clip and the point of no return into that last outer zone goes Taguchi. See Christaps Bluss lacking some angle, but gained some proximity. Woo-wee! Well done there by Taguchi, but Bluss towards the latter portion really gained some ground.
Bluss had a scary moment coming through the power alley, but let's take a look here at the run from the beginning. Up on the curbing there is Taguchi on both the first and second inside clip. Right here, you can see Bluss gets lost in the smoke.
Yeah.
He's going to take a little bit of angle out of the car there, but he's going to stay in it. He's driving in the smoke line, pretty much muscle memory, blind through that whole section. Then he gets up in the pocket right here, a little bit less angle, but really close on proximity as Taguchi comes off that last outside zone and into the final inside clip. Here it is again. You can see Taguchi gets that left wheel up on the curbing and also the right. And then Bluss is driving through the smoke line here pretty much the entirety of the way. And this is where Bluss starts to attack. He's on a little bit of a shallower line, but he's really trying to focus on closing the door, keeping that proximity. Then he gets right back on line here. Perfect job, and closes the door as he's literally door-to-door through the finish line.
Slide him left for our Japanese driver Kazuya Taguchi, right for the Latvian. That is Christaps Bluss. Gets the win unanimously. Bluss moves on into the top 16. One more battle left here in top 32.
Shredding.
Yeah, he's
between. I like what you said. His second qualifying run is for the boys.
It's for
right?
the boys. That was for the boys.
Totally was. But yeah, that and more on the AM Intakes halftime show.
All right, cool. Thank you, Sam.
Thank you.
And keep looking good there, silver-haired fox. Yeah. All right, so here we go. Honordale and Jones. Honordale initiates in that supercharged V8 S14. Jeff Jones in that supercharged V8 370Z. Front clip. Both these guys, listen to these things, whining, ticking and banging. Honordale and Jones. Woo, Rick. Jones takes a little bit of angle out, but look at that proximity. It's on the door. is this guy, Jeff Jones? Honadale, great lead run, but Jones, look at that. Shots fired across the nose.
Really exciting battle here. Nice initiation right there by Honadale. Jones not playing around, sticks right in it, but he gets really close and goes up on the curbing on that inside clip. Now Honadale reaching out to that touch and go a little bit shallow, but Jones takes advantage of it through the smoke line. Big angle by Jones, almost makes contact, but then gets right in the pocket there as Honadale. Beautiful line on that outside. Right-hand sweeper, and Jones and Honadale cross pretty much in tandem there. Let's take a look as Jones comes through the smoke line. Watch how he angles up to avoid contact here. Sticks right there and is able to just get right in the pocket with Honadale. But Honadale has got an exceptional lead line out here on that outside right-hand sweeper.
That goes down at 4:30, and then 5 o'clock is our opening ceremonies national anthem, and we won't stop till we find out who wins here. Round 6 of the Formula Drift Black Magic Pro Championship, Advanced Auto Parts Crossroads, presented by Rain-X. Jeff Jones past that second front clip. Honadale loses some ground. Jeff Jones past that final clip into that zone, and oh no, Honadale goes off course. Honadale overcooks it and goes off course. Jeff Jones advances on in that Doc Falcon Tires 370Z. Honadale, a little bit of angry throttle there from him. Unfortunately, just overcooks it, Ryan.
Well, Jeff Jones was ecstatic making it into the top 16 in Seattle, and it looks like he may have just done that here. Great lead out front, Honadale keeping the pressure on, but let's find out what happens to Honadale as we leave the power alley here. Jones comes through, hits that last inside clip. Honadale heading forward that outside zone and just overcooks it into that section of the course. Really has nowhere to go, and you can see the frustration from Honadale.
Oh man, bummer for Honadale, but let's slide him left for Jeff Jones. Alec Honadale in that Rain-X vehicle, and Jeff Jones gets the win. Jones advances on into the top 16. Yard sale.